All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty mind-bending. It's a theory from author Jay Alfred, and it suggests that our brains might not just be one kind of computer, but two, part classical and part quantum.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. A quantum computer in your head? It sounds like pure science fiction, right? But what if those incredible flashes of human genius aren't just about being smart, but about tapping into a totally different kind of processing power? So to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start with a puzzle, a real person whose abilities just seem to defy what a biological brain should be capable of.
So back in 1977, she was given this absolutely massive 201-digit number and was asked to find its 23rd root. Just think about that for a second.
And get this, she solved it in just 50 seconds. That's faster than the most powerful supercomputers of her time. So you have to ask, how on earth is that possible? What kind of computer could possibly be running inside her skull? All right, section 1, a tale of two brains. So the first clue to cracking this mystery might be the fact that we literally have two brains in one skull. Research on split brain patients is wild. It shows our two hemispheres don't just do different jobs. They seem to generate entirely different realities. Which brings us to section 2, classical brain, quantum brain. Okay, so if we've got two different realities being generated, what's powering them? This is where author Jay Alfred proposes this incredible analogy. Our left brain is like a classical computer, but our right brain, well, that acts like a quantum computer. And check this out. The differences are pretty stark. Your left brain, the classical one, is all about conscious, verbal, either-or logic. It's binary, a 1 or a 0. But the right brain, that's where things get weird. It's unconscious, intuitive, and it uses both and logic. That sounds a lot like a quantum bit or a qubit, which can literally be both a 1 and a 0 at the same time. And you know what? This isn't just some wild new idea. Neuroscientists like Petro Gopich have pointed out for a while how much the quantum world sounds like our dream world, a place where, as he puts it, paradox reigns and opposites merge to sameness. Okay, section 3, the mind's quantum engine. But here's the elephant in the room, right? Quantum effects are famously delicate. You need crazy cold temperatures and total isolation. How could they possibly survive inside a warm, wet, messy brain? Well, physicist Matthew Fisher might have an answer. He came up with this really fascinating model for how quantum processing could actually happen right inside our heads. So here's the 3-step breakdown. First, phosphorus atoms, which are all over our brain, act as natural qubits. Then, chemical reactions entangle them, linking their fates. And finally, and this is the crucial part, they get shielded inside these things called Posner molecules, which protect them from all the noise. Fisher actually calculated that their quantum state could stay stable for up to a day this way. A whole day. So on to section 4, the God processor. Let's just say this is true. If you have this silent, super powerful quantum processor running in your right brain, what does that feel like to your conscious, classical left brain? And this is maybe the most mind-blowing part of the whole theory. When geniuses like Shakuntala Devi or the mathematician Ramanujan were asked how they did it, they often said the answers just came to them, from a divine source, from God. The solutions just appeared, fully formed. So the theory suggests that this sensed presence, this God they talked about, maybe it wasn't an external being at all. Maybe it was just the left brain's way of interpreting the signals from its own incredibly powerful, unconscious quantum partner. And what's really fascinating is that this fits perfectly with how modern quantum computers work. They also need a classical computer for error checking. Ramanujan's insights, while brilliant, sometimes had small errors. He'd then have to go back and use slow, deliberate classical math to find and fix them. It's a perfect parallel. All right, section 5, hacking your quantum mind. This all leads to a really cool question, right? If we all have this quantum potential buried inside us, can we, learn how to access it? Well, think about ancient practices like meditation. They might just be an intuitive way of hacking into our own quantum minds. I mean, look at these techniques. Isolation, quieting the verbal mind, breaking down logic. These are remarkably similar to what scientists do in a lab to protect super delicate quantum states. Yeah, this quote from a University of Chicago researcher nails it. He says, "We don't try to eliminate noise. Instead, we trick the system into thinking it doesn't experience the noise."
That's exactly what a mantra does. It's not about creating total silence. It's about adding a specific, stable frequency to tune out all the other mental chatter. So basically, all these techniques are about one thing: temporarily turning down the volume on our loud, dominant classical left brain. And by doing that, we might just be able to finally hear the subtle, powerful signals coming from our inner quantum processor. So, where does this leave us? What's the big takeaway? Look, this is a speculative theory for sure, but it's a scientifically grounded one. And it suggests that things we think of as almost magical, genius, intuition, even mystical experiences, they might not be supernatural at all. They could just be a natural product of our brain's incredible, hybrid, classical quantum design. The emerging field of quantum neuroscience could completely redefine what it means to be human. As we learn more, we might just find out that we aren't just really clever biological machines. We might be beings with a direct line to the deeper, stranger, quantum layer of reality. A lot to think about.